Navigating the complexities of our own minds can be challenging. Welcome to hanseiventures. My goal is to give you the psychological tools and insights you need for real personal growth. In each video, we break down the science behind our habits, emotions, and interactions. Alright, let's be honest. There's a task on your to do list right now. It might be that report of work, studying, or an exam, or even just tackling that mountain of laundry. You know it's important. You know you should be doing it. But for some reason, you're here watching this video instead. And the longer you avoid the task, the more that little voice of guilt in the back of your head gets louder and louder, turning into a nagging, stressful hum that follows you all the day. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know one thing. You are not just lazy. Laziness is apathy. It's not wanting to do anything. Procrastination is an active strategic choice to do something else, something less important, to avoid negative feeling. It's a complex psychological battle we all fight. We're told by the world to just do it, which is about as helpful as telling someone in a maze to just get out. It ignores the walls that are right in front of them. But what if it's not about forcing yourself with iron will discipline? What if it's about understanding the simple brain loop that keeps you stuck and using a few clever tricks to gently snap out of it? Today, we're going to take a deep dive into 6 brain hacks grounded in real psychology that you can use to beat procrastination and take action. And the last one addresses the biggest and most convincing lie we tell ourselves when we procrastinate. First, let's get on the same page about why our brains do this. It's not a character flaw, it's a feature of our biology. Deep in your brain, you have the limbic system, the part responsible for emotions and survival. It operates on a simple principle: avoid pain and seek pleasure. Right now, then you have your prefrontal cortex, the adult part of the brain responsible for long term planning and rational thought. When you look at a big, difficult task, like writing a 20-page paper, your limbic system doesn't see the future benefit of a good grade. It only sees the immediate, present moment discomfort, the boredom, the frustration, the potential for failure. It screams danger. This feels bad. Abort to protect you. It craves an immediate escape to something easy and rewarding. Checking your phone, grabbing a snack, watching one more video, this creates powerful procrastination loop. You feel stress from the task. You escape to a distraction. You get a temporary hit of relief. And your brain learns that escaping is a good way to manage stress. Then, of course, the stress comes back even worse because the deadline is now closer. We're not fighting laziness. We are fighting a deeply ingrained stress response. So let's start dismantling that loop. Trick number 1 that we can use is the 5-minute rule. This is the ultimate weapon against the mental wall of starting. That wall is made of one thing: overwhelm. The task feels huge, so the thought of doing it is crushing. The rule is simple: commit to doing the dreaded task for only 5 minutes, no more. Set a physical timer. Tell yourself, I am only going to fill papers for 5 minutes. And when the timer goes off, I have full permission to stop and go back to what I was doing. But what happens is pure brain magic. That 5-minute commitment is so small, so non-threatening, that the limbic system doesn't fire off its alarm bells. It's just 5 minutes. The psychological barrier to starting is shattered. Then, once you're in motion, Newton's first law takes over. An object in motion stays in motion. This isn't about finishing the task in 5 minutes, it's about making the start so ridiculously easy that your brain can find a good reason to say no. Now, moving to trick number 2, shrink the task. Overwhelm is number one fuel for procrastination. We don't start because we can't see the finish line. A goal like clean the garage, for example, is a recipe for avoidance. It's too big, too vague. The trick is to break it down into absurdly small, concrete, physical steps. Clean the garage becomes walk to the garage. Seriously, that's the first step. The next step is pick up one piece of trash. The next is put that trash in the bin. This is based on a concept called task decomposition. By making the very next action impossibly small, you remove the fear and give your brain a clear, simple instruction. It can execute without resistance. It also gives you a series of small wins every time you complete a micro task, and brain releases a tiny bit of dopamine. The reward chemical, you're creating a new loop, the progress loop, where taking small actions feels good, encouraging you to take another. So don't write a book, write one sentence. Don't run a marathon. Put on your running shoes. Trick number 3, create a friction-free zone. Your brain is an efficiency machine. It will always follow the path of least resistance. Right now, the path to distraction is probably a frictionless superhighway. Your phone is right there, a dozen tabs are open. The TV remote is within reach. Your job is to reverse that. You need to make procrastination harder than doing the work. This is about consciously designing your environment. If you need to write, don't just try not to get distracted. Leave your phone in another room. Unplug the Wi-Fi router. Use an app that blocks distracting websites. You are adding friction to your distractions. This makes the important task the easiest and most obvious option available. It's not about willpower, it's about architecture. You're building an environment where you desired or where your desired behavior is the default behavior. Moving to trick number 4, schedule a meeting with your task. Look at your to-do list. It's probably just a list of suggestions, a wish list of things you hope to get done. A calendar, on the other hand, is a plan for action. Vague goals like I'll work on the project this afternoon or open invitations for your brain to procrastinate. This trick makes your intention real. Schedule specific non-negotiable appointment with your task from 2 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. I will work on the project slides. Put it on your calendar. This simple act transforms it from an abstract idea into a concrete commitment. It leverages a psychological principle called implementation intention. By predetermining when and where you will do something, you dramatically increase the likelihood that you'll follow through. You wouldn't just skip a meeting with your boss, so don't skip the meeting you schedule with your own progress. Trick number 5, forgive your past. This might be the most profound and effective trick of all. Procrastination thrives on a cocktail of negative emotions, and the primary ingredient is guilt. You feel bad that you didn't start yesterday. That guilt makes you feel anxious and overwhelmed today. And what does your brain want to do when it feels anxious and overwhelmed? It wants to escape, so you procrastinate even more. It's a vicious downward spiral. The only way to break this cycle is with radical self-compassion. Studies have shown that students who forgave themselves for procrastinating on the first exam were less likely to procrastinate in the next one. So, right now, take a deep breath and consciously forgive yourself for not starting sooner. Acknowledge that you felt overwhelmed or scared, and that's a human feeling. By letting go of the guilty, you release the heavy emotional weight that's been pinning you down, freeing you to start fresh, right now with a clean slate. And finally, trick number 6, expose the lie of productive procrastination. This is the sneakiest, most insidious trap of all. It's when you avoid your most important task by doing dozens of other smaller productive things. You clean your inbox, you organize your desk, you finally run those errands. You feel busy and accomplished, but your main priority, the one that truly moves the needle, hasn't moved an inch. This is just your brain giving you the feeling of progress without the risk of discomfort of the main task. It's a clever imposter. The solution here is brutal, honest clarity. Before you start any task for the rest of the day, ask yourself this one question: is this the single most important thing I should be doing right now? If the answer is no, you've caught yourself in the act. This question acts as a compass, constantly pointing you back to your true north, forcing you to comfort the real work instead of hiding in the comfort of busy work. So you have 6 powerful tools: the 5-minute rule to shatter the wall of starting, shrinking the task to turn overwhelm into small wins, creating a friction free zone to make focus the easiest option, scheduling a meeting to make your intentions real, forgiving yourself to break the cycle of guilt, and exposing productive procrastination to stay focused on what truly matters. The golden rule that ties them all together is this: action comes before motivation. Motivation is not a spark that you wait for, it is a fire that you build. You cannot wait until you feel like doing it. You have to act your way into feeling like it. Start small, create a tiny piece of momentum, and let that momentum build the motivation for you. That is the secret. If you found these tools helpful and want to continue learning how to work with your brain instead of against it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Hanseiventures. It helps more than you know and tells me that this is the kind of content that provides real value to you. Our journey into the mind is just getting started. The next tool we break down could be the one that changes everything for you, but you'll only know if you're here for it. Make sure you've turned on that notification bell because you never know what crucial insight we'll uncover next. And thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.